Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out
The
together,
Purple Rose of
dancing
Cairo
cheek to
is
cheek.
situated in the 30s, in the city of New Jersey, when the United States, most of the
I'm in
countries of the world were
heaven,
going through the Great
and
Depression.
the cares that hung around me through the
In the movie,
week
people show
seem to
desperation,
vanish
nostalgia,
like a
hope,
gambler's
and some other
cheat
feelings like anger and fear.
when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. All the
Cecilia,
moonlit
the
signs
main
are
character,
ahead
a
and
young
keep
working
us
woman that is not very
flying
good at her
deep,
work as a
but it
waitress,
doesn't thrill
because she's
me
keeping
half as
dreaming
much
awake all day long.
dancing cheek to
She dreams with the
cheek.
movies she
Oh, I
watches at
love
the
to go
cinema and the
out
life of the
fishing
people in
in
those
a
films.
river or a
Therefore,
creek,
she doesn't pay
but
much
nothing
attention
can
to her
joy
duties
it
and
half
does
as much
everything wrong.
as dancing
She
cheek
ends
to
up being fired
cheek.
from the restaurant where she
Dance
worked
with
with her
me.
sister.
I want my arm about
Outside her
you.
dreams, Cecilia's
Not
life is quite
arm
depressing
about
itself.
you.
She lives in a very
Please
small house
marry
with her husband,
me.
who has just been fired from a
Heaven,
factory as a consequence of the
I'm
Great
in
Depression.
heaven,
He seems to have no
and
will to
my
look for
heart
another
beats
job.
so that I
They have a
can
lot of
hardly
debts and live day by
speak,
day with Cecilia's income and
and
some
I
little
seem
jobs
to
she does
find the
for other people
happiness
in town.
I
These
seek
situations make
when
Cecilia
we're
start to
out
create a whole new
together,
world for her
dancing cheek
when she
to
dreams awake.
cheek.
It's admirable how she keeps trying to become a better person. Even though the situation in the country was very difficult, she does not fall in drugs or the easy life of alcohol as her husband did. Instead, she gets involved in the magic of films and creates a magnificent life for herself. This comedy, created by the director Woody Allen, an American filmmaker, actor, and writer, 1935, does not contain the satirical tone from his other comedies, but has a different approach with a very creative interaction between the characters in the film and the spectators in the cinema. This is a very imaginative and original comedy which allows the characters to travel from a harsh and routinary reality to an artificial world full of fantasy and joy. Maybe Woody Allen wants to send a message about how we used to avoid reality by creating new worlds of our own that seems magical and perfect. In the film, the decadence of values and principles like in the family, the society, and unemployment may have taken Woody Allen to create a story of hope that could create some security in people's lives, giving another perspective with illusion, optimism, and the continuous fight for survival in a situation like the Great Depression. Woody Allen reinforces this argument with the song Cheek to Cheek from Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers from 1935, as this song talks about a fantasy world created by people that can't find their dreams in the real world, living from their imagination and self-dreams. The beginning of the song quotes, "Heaven, I'm in heaven," making even more evident the invitation to live in a world that we can't reach in the real life. Another important aspect of the movie is how Woody Allen creates the interaction between two completely different worlds. Two worlds in different dimensions, as they are the films and the real life. On one side, a fake, imaginative, full of illusion part from the film in black and white, and on the other, the real, concrete, rude, yearning, harsh, and colorful life. This combination is essential to make the spectators get involved in the scenes, when the theme and the message form the film. There's a very important scene in the film inside the film, when the character of the waiter in the Copacabana bar says to Tom Baxter, "Are we chalking out the plot?" And Tom replies, "Exactly, every man for himself." In this moment, the waiter's eyes illuminate with joy and says, "Then I don't have to seat people anymore. I can do what it is I've always wanted to do." And then he starts dancing tap in the middle of the stage. With this scene, Woody Allen invites us all to do whatever we want to do, following our deepest dreams and not to be dependent from the society we live in. In some way, he's telling us to create the plot of our lives. on our own place and fitting our way of life, like in the case of Cecilia, as she created her own plot as she was always dreaming with love and a life full of joy and adventure, where she never had economical constraints and could imagine and create her own story, changing everything, transforming reality into life, joy, and love. Finally, I keep this thought in my mind. Changing a life in the world can be made with imagination as long as we want to. Everyone is responsible for creating his own dreams, and no one can stop us from doing it, even if we are going through a Great Depression. However, we have to keep in mind that we're living a real life in a real world, and we must never let our dreams detach ourselves from the reality.